The girl had just lightly touched her sister just before she died. My sister became a little golden person in an instant when the girl opened her eyes again. This was the day when he was reborn to receive the power of Bindu. In this life he did not want to touch the money tree in the backyard. On the contrary, the younger sister was desperate to touch it. Let the butler invite the third prince. The girl realized that her sister had been reborn, and he noticed the power of that point and the position of the queen. Watching my sister think she's got a superpower reaching the pinnacle of life, this woman isn't afraid to laugh her heart out, because only she knows this ability has one very fatal weakness. That is, every time you use a superpower I will learn about your life. Last time it was because the third prince forced her day and night, use the power of the point and the position of the queen. In the end, it turned out to be full of white hairs. In this life, she chose to look at her sister with cold eyes. Before long, the third prince arrived at the Shen family's backyard. My sister was eager to show off her skills and play the role of a queen. The third prince immediately came forward and clarified the truth. After confirming that it was indeed a golden mon, he started asking my sister to change into a bigger one. I also rejected the engagement between that girl and my sister. The woman deliberately sought solace from her parents, but in return, it was his cold wave and warmth. Shen Yan, you are extremely skilled at turning stone into sharp objects, and you are extremely fond of the third prince, which is incredible. Little did she know that she had fallen into a trap carefully laid by that girl. It turns out that in her past life, the girl relied on the ability to turn stones into gold. Only then did he help the third prince become emperor. The day the girl was to become queen, his sister, driven mad by jealousy, stabbed him to death. It was only on his deathbed that he got to see the true face of his adoptive parents' family. He used his last breath to activate the Midas touch. He chose to die with his sister, because in this life, my younger sister willingly jumped into the abyss of the third prince. She decided to inspire her sister to follow the same path she had followed. Why am I in danger? To prevent the younger sister from finding out that the sleepover had ended, the girl quickly explained that it was because the younger sister was too excited. Besides eating first, the huge treasure caused the third prince to pretend to be upset and wipe away the blood flowing from his nose. Then the third prince began to grant her wish by allowing her to turn the large vase into gold. In order not to be embarrassed in front of the third prince, he clenched his teeth and lost the ability to bite sharp objects into gold. Soon the younger sister's body began to appear physically transparent. But the third prince did not care about her feelings and ordered everyone to take all the gold and admire the sea estuary. 3 days later, he will marry his sister and the marriage will be solemnized. The third prince had just left when his sister fell unconscious. The girl quickly covered him and wiped away the blood, and her parents immediately ordered their subordinates to send a doctor, but the girl stopped them. I can't believe it. The third prince just found out that Wei Wei could get married at any time, but now Wei Wei's body is not working. Her body is so weak. How can she be the empress and mother of the world? The parents found the woman's words very logical. So let him take his sister for a rest. The next day after the sister woke up, she didn't care about her body. Instead, she was concerned about whether the ability to eat was still present. When he saw a pillow that turned into gold, he just let his heart flow. Then he ordered the woman to wash his feet in the name of the third princess. Watching my sister become my slave, she was confident I didn't even realize my feet were full. In the hall of the palace, the emperor was so thirsty that he could not even raise 30,000 taels of gold to deal with this disaster. To contend for the position of crown prince in the future, and it was a big dream. The third prince paid. After his return, he continued to visit the palace of the gods. He asked the soldiers to bring 300,000 taels of gold. Let the sister start eating gold to gather disaster nutrition. I didn't think about it when his finger touched the stone. His body was also visible. The sister requested the third prince to let her rest, but it got stuck in her hair. He was ordered to immediately turn these stones into gold. I feel as if this mirror is in my body itself. What's wrong with it? Can I rest? I'll order it for you tomorrow, okay? To pressure her sister into competing, the woman knelt down and pleaded for her sister, but she didn't expect the third prince, enraged by her words, to slap her across the face. Her parents thought she was the only one willing to fight for the throne, so she didn't. The younger sister thought that the woman was jealous of her and wanted to humiliate her in front of the third prince, so she did not care about her sister's sweet words and placed her hand on the stone again. When the younger sister finished making 300,000 taels of gold for the third prince, she was horrified to see that her hair had turned white and her face had aged, which made her realize that this was the price she had to pay for consuming life. She freaked out and ran to the woman and asked her if she knew the real issue before reincarnation was money, and the girl feigned innocence. Wei Wei, I don't understand what you're saying. That I have been telling you for a long time that your body is important. That I told you not to get angry with me again. This is correct. How can the reincarnation of two persons be possible? But why did she say that she wanted to save her life? It should happen like this only. I didn't think much about it. The younger sister ran to the third prince and asked him if he still loved her even though she was old. The third prince gave him a big brush. By the time he reaches the 95th verse, he will marry her. I don't know if the third prince doesn't want to lose his money. As expected, the third prince visited the deity's palace again the next day. This time, the third prince needed to collect 10 million taels of silver to invade the north. I hope my sister can help him. After the trial, he will become the crown prince. The younger sister is Yuvraja's wife. The girl knows very well that after 30 lakh taels there will be 100 lakh taels. After 10 million taels, it will become 30 million taels. Her desire to know people is indomitable. Idiot, it's just that Wei Wei is no longer there. Thank you. So what if I want this land? How can the emperor and empress compete with each other? We are fighting with each other day and night. This can't be done. If we let this go, 10 years of Wei Hao's life will be wasted, right, Your Majesty? I want to see Your Majesty, but he knew that if he got a dimple on his face, he would probably die of old age. He thought that perhaps the girl had dimples on her cheeks in her previous life too, so he pulled her down without any hesitation. As long as he kept touching the demon tree, he could also gain the ability to be controlled by a dimple. Then the family together forced the woman to touch the demonic tree. They were not expected to live a life of heavy living, but would return to their previous ways of life. This time the girl was already in a lot of pain, and under pressure from her family she decided to use her ability. Oh dear.